All right, great. Um, to continue where we left off, we're going to allow the plaintiff prosecutor to start the examination portion. We have time allowed for 30 minutes, correct? Okay.
So we got 30 minutes to do cross-examination?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So you guys got to tell me.
Do you want to do 30 minutes for each party or 15-15 for the examination?
I mean, 30 minutes to do the three parties. I think it's fair on both sides, not 15-15, because the defendant has to address those things in an efficient amount of time. So without being too strenuous, let's give everybody 30-30. That way, like, you can't figure out how to present in 30, you need to figure it out. So, and that's fair.
Okay.
All right. So let me know when y'all ready for me to jump in this.
You can begin whenever you're
Okay,
ready.
I need the screen sharing. So
Shawty, go ahead and give him the screen sharing, please. You have it now, I think.
okay, let me try. Oh, yep, got it. All right. So let me see if I can share. I should be sharing an email now that I'm gonna go back to this trademark issue.
Okay.
All right. Is Karen online? Can she hear me?
She's on and she can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So earlier in this video, Ken said that he had talked to another jurist who was going to show him some indigenous way to do trademarks. But this is the actual statement here. And I just want to make sure this is a correct statement from Ken Wade. That's his email, New Ways LLC. Peace. Yes, that message should have been sent a month or so after intake for bankruptcy was sent. It's a different form, but for your trademark, we're doing a indigenous protection method on it, which is different than the average trademark. Did you ever read this email, Sister Karen?
Did I read the email?
Yeah, have you ever seen this email before? I just read it.
No.
Okay. All right. So this is an email. I guess you were just forwarding all the emails to me, but this is what he sent to you. Earlier, he said he was working with some other jurists. My point is, he never said to you, Karen, or did he say, I'm working with this jurist on this indigenous protection method, Brother Archon or Brother Ansar. Did he ever tell you that he was working with some other jurists on an indigenous protection method for trademarks? Over phone, text, anything? All right, so what he stated on the record earlier is some made up thing that's non-evidentiary, which is consistent with every point that he has made, and I'm going to prove it. If he was working with some other jurors, we don't know, because all we have in the email is that Kenway is stating to a client who doesn't know about trademarks, who's coming for a service, that he has an indigenous protection method. He was never taught that by headquarters. Even if he had an indigenous protection method, he never completed the service. So the point here that we need to make clear to Ken is pretty simple. And let me make the point. This is the point. And let me show my point. That would happen when I'm doing this. All right, let me get back. Got like a million things coming. All right. The point here is this. Now let me share it with Ken so he can understand what's happening here. I think he lost it as far as what's happening here. These are the charges, Ken. Karen Baber, you're being charged with not completing debt relief issues and trademark business registration. All right. You completed a business for $100. you didn't complete. So you're guilty. And not only are you guilty of that, we accused you of violating moral code number 7, which is lying. And you are lying. You've lied several times on this indigenous trademark issue, and you continue to redevelop the lie. There is no ARNA indigenous trade method that I have taught jurists. If there's another jurist that knows an indigenous trademark method and y'all two are working on it, you didn't finish the service, and it's a non-credentialed service that you're about to do for some people, and you don't even know the ramifications because you haven't been around long enough to know that if you violate this person and she commits an error, now she is personally responsible for everything that you speculated on. So you never communicated to her nothing but you have a indigenous trademark method. And apparently you have some indigenous trademark method that none of us know about. And you fumbled the ball with the execution of it. These are your charges, but you're looking at your charges. So now let me go further on this particular point. You stated that that Love She, you keep saying the statement that she bribed you and it's a violation of our Constitution. I need you, and this is cross-examination, so this is a direct question, quote from our Constitution, moral code, Aboriginal rights, where and what exactly Love She violated in our Constitution by saying she doesn't understand what's going on here, she's learning, and she offered you more money to complete a service that is a legal service in ARNA, which is not a violation. You may have thought it was illegal, but your thought process and your belief has nothing to do with reality. She can't be charged with bribery for trying to get a legal service. So quote from our Constitution where you think that she violated. And this is cross-examination, so.
Okay, so apologies. So on the answer to that question, so initially, like was stated before,
I just need the clause, bro. I just need the clause from the Constitution. That's all I need.
I did send it in, but let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Give me 1 second.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. You can go look at that. I'll go on other points.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I don't want to use my time. All right. So the point with the Love She incident is that she was not trying to.
Just a moment. I'd like to put a note on the record that she stated the reason why she came to him and kind of insisted because she went to a previous jurist and said she got provided the tax exemption form. And it was a misunderstanding when it was brought to the Jurist Society that it was the summary or master file from the IRS. It was actually a form that was given by the indigenous of the North. And both sides wasn't aware of what was going on. And so it needs to be established and determined was the jurist who did the tax exemption for her LLC was in violation and breach of protocol.
No, they weren't.
That's why she came to him.
It's pretty simple. I can solve all the problems. Indigenous of the North only took our tax exempt certificate that we had and made it look prettier. Indigenous of the North was given clearance to not change the content of documents, but the style because they wanted to maybe look more elegant. I don't care. And they came to me and asked me about that with each particular document and sent the document to me before they started using it. So I have all of those things. My point is very simple. She was asking for a legal process. If she says, okay, I don't know how this works. If she offers you more money, like you could say, my nationality is 720. If a person comes to you and say, look, I want a contract with you because I want some special service. I want my nationality done in 3 days. And you say, well, Ali, I charge them such and such $1,200 because they agreed to it. I don't have nothing to do with that. As long as everything that in that 720 is divvied up to what we already prearranged, if somebody wants to pay you more money because they know first that the service costs this much, and then they say, I want to give you more, that's y'all privately contracting. They're aware of how much it costs. They want to pay extra money. They're willing to pay for you to do extra things. That's not bribery, bro. That's a person offering, that's a person offering to do something, you accepting, and then the terms and conditions about a legal process. So the confusion was whether it was a legal process. We are now in trial. I'm telling you it's a legal process. I'm telling you, and showed the last time it was inside of the file. So all I'm saying here is the bribery claim, as she stated on the thing, is moot and null and void. I'm trying to get the Juror Society to see how preposterous it is to charge the girl with bribery. And she's saying, wait, if I did something wrong, if I'm willing to, if I did something wrong. And I'm telling you, there's nothing that she did wrong. If she did something wrong, somebody has to point it out to me when y'all do your verdict. And y'all have the ability to do that. So let me go on to the next.
For the record, I wanted to pause your time real quick and just say that, so confirm that, so there's two LLCs. We have the tribal LLC, and then we also have the LLC that is able to be registered by the Secretary of State. Yep. So with Love She's LLC, was her LLC registered with the Secretary of State?
No, not at all. I just completed Love She's other business stuff and opened the bank accounts and did everything that she was supposed to do. So no, okay. Not to my knowledge, unless she wants to speak and say, yeah, oh yeah, the one that I just did, whatever. I'm not going to say the name of the business or whatever. You know, she went and opened a bank account. She was having problems with that because, you know, the jurist was confused. She was getting partial information from jurors that was correct, partial information. I deal with that all the time. And you know what? That's not a problem, because that a jurist not knowing something, even if it's been in the thing, is not a problem. The problem comes when we get to a moment like this. And the moment like this is, okay, somebody is bringing charges now because of a jurist's lack of fulfilling obligations. In this sense, we put that there just to show in the charges, we put that there, failure to provide it, not because of Kenway saying, okay, well, I don't know, is what everything he did after that. Okay. It's not the fact that he didn't complete Yasmine She Ali's nationality in the beginning. It's everything that happened after that. It's not the fact that, you know, somebody came to him for debt elimination. All that. It's everything he did after that and everything he's presenting. So let me go to my next point. My next point.
I just wanted to first ask for the record for Love She, if she registered, I believe this was beneath the canvas, if she registered this business with the Secretary of State, if you can answer that question. Sister Love She.
I don't think I even see her on.
Okay, now it looks like she's coming in.
Okay.
Peace, Love She. Okay.
Go ahead.
Peace, Love She. I wanted to ask you a question for the record. That first, the business that Minister Kenway did not provide you a tax exempt certificate for, was that for Beneath the Canvas LLC? You're muted.
Okay, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just had to reconnect. So I missed a bit. Okay. But I think you were asking me a question. Yeah. Did I miss any? So I don't know if I was.
We can reset everything that you missed. It's okay. So you can start back over, brother, and pose the question to the sister.
Okay. Sister Love She, I wanted to know for as far as the LLC that there was not a tax exempt certificate provided for by Minister Ken. Was this business registered with the Secretary of State?
Was it?
Well, is it Beneath the Canvas, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and was Beneath the Canvas registered with the Secretary of State?
No.
Okay. So this was, okay. That's all.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm misquoting, misstating. Yes. At the time that I was so this is a business that was done within the state of Tennessee. And so it was registered with the Secretary of State traditionally, like outside of the tribal business. So my request was to make it a tribal business. So it was on the record at the Secretary of State.
Okay.
Okay.
And this business was originally formed by Minister Kenway She, or was it previously formed in the state of Tennessee, or what did he do?
It was previously formed in the state of Tennessee, and I asked Ken to assist me in making it a tribal business.
Okay.
All right, is that all your question, Shadi?
Yeah. Yeah, you can go, prosecution, go ahead. I mean,
Okay.
we can discuss.
So that's a common practice. That's a common practice. People come in all the time and we give them new EINs and they don't want to, they might have an LLC in the past and they want to make it a tribal business. We do that all the time. So the fact of the matter is it's the legal process in honor. But the greater point that I'm making here, and I'll use this as an example because he just put up some numbers. So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do right now live. He put up numbers saying, look, the mail was bad. The mail was bad. The discovery was very particular. I said, Kenway, can you show that these mismailings, because I can pull up some too, were directly related to Karen? And he never did. He never showed it. So this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know if it was or not because nobody knows. And the burden of the proof was on him, but I'm gonna help him out. I'm gonna help you out. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. While we're here live, let's look up some of these numbers because I wrote them down. Let's see if these numbers actually are related to anything that we can find in regards to this young lady, because the burden of the proof is on you to prove, oh yeah, this particular mailing right here was related to Karen. This was mailed for her. This is, etc. I can't pull this up. Hold on. But this is what I even do it better. I need the prosecution in his rebuttal, the defendant in his rebuttal, to pull up any of those numbers and show that those particular numbers he used as exhibits pertain to the plaintiff. If he cannot do that, then what he's doing is he's creating straw man arguments. Oh, the mailing was bad, so now it pertains to all of my clients. No, it doesn't, bro. Because I can pull up the same thing. I can say, oh yeah, we had bad mailings during the pandemic, but I was still delivering stuff to people. And if I had a bad mailing to someone, I dealt with it properly. I refunded them or, did whatever it is. I kept a record of all those things. What he is doing is he is broad stroking. So I got questions for my particular clients, and then I'm going to pass on to him. How much time do I have?
You are done at 1:22 because we had paused the time, so we extended the 6 minutes that was used for pause.
22 minutes?
122.
Oh,
so that would be
2:22. 18 minutes. Hold on. Oh, go ahead. Somebody's speaking.
Yes, Kimber, it's Lushy. Before my call was disconnected, I thought I heard that there was something Indigenous of the North related to my
oh, that was irrelevant.
business filing. Yeah. Okay, I was just making, because I wanted to clear that up if there was.
Yeah, that's irrelevant. That was
Okay.
about the tax exemption certificate. They had the same certificate, but they just kind of changed the look on it. But they were issuing those same certificates because it was in the file. And at that time, IOTN would come to me and say, oh, can we alter this document, put this border on it, blah, 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 blah. And I would be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. As long as the content, send it back to me. And they sent it back to me and it was the same content. So that was something that they did. It had nothing to do with anything in particular. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to ask each one of my clients some questions. I'll start with Love She. Can you hear me, sis?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a set of questions. I want you to answer them to the best of your ability, the best of your knowledge. Are you convinced that the allegations you made against Kenway She are valid, that he did not provide you with an ID as charged, and he failed to provide you with a tax exemption certificate that was legal? Are you convinced that that is a fact?
Those things are correct, yes.
All right. Do you think that Kenway She feels remorse for his breaches of law, code, and contract that we have highlighted?
No.
Do you think Kenway She can function with integrity as a jurist in the jurisdiction of ARNA without adjudication that we have here to stop his actions?
No.
Do you have any closing statements?
Yes. I just want to say that, as I stated before, none of my communication was, is, or shall be in an effort to demean, diminish, tarnish Kenway's reputation. That's not what this is about. I brought this to headquarters because I was having an issue, and isolated, I would just kind of, oh, you know, mistakes happen because we all make them. But because of the timeline, you know, the ID situation started in May. Communication about it, the person being Ken was October. I still was November. I still don't have, I didn't get it from Ken. Isolated, I probably, you know, just would have, hey, you know, but combining that with the tax certificate and the overcharge, it just kind of left me questioning, you know, the process and procedure. I'm a systems person. I think in systems, and I even offered to help Ken on several occasions. Hey, you know, I'm willing. I do administration in my sleep. I've got ID making supplies at the time in my house. I said that last recording. I'm bringing people in, right? I'm talking to my friends and family about the importance of becoming a national and the benefits therein. And I can't comfortably do that if I don't know they're going to get the correct process each time. I also brought this to attention because I've made 5 filings so far with ARNA. And 2 of those filings were LLCs, and one of them was done in December and had nothing to do with whatever the sheets were, whether they were changed or not. I still got a tax exempt certificate as part of my package. And of the 3 jurists that I worked with, I've gotten a tax exempt certificate for 2 out of the 3. So my question here was about is about process. Is it going to be uniform? That's my focus. That's what I would like to see. It has nothing to do with a personal attack.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your words and your statements. I'm going to move to Karen. Can you hear me, Karen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you same questions. Are you convinced that the allegations you made against Ken Wei Shi are valid, that he failed to provide trademark services, he failed to provide debt relief services, and that his administration of the carrying out of the business was not in proper conduct and standard?
Yes.
Do you think Ken Wei Shi feels remorse for his breaches of law, code, and contract in regards to you?
No, I do not. Displayed by ego, arrogance, lack of humility, refusal to accept accountability and responsibility.
Okay. Do you think Ken Wei Shi can function with integrity as a jurist in the jurisdiction of Varna?
No, I do not. Based on numerous complaints and the way the previous things that I just stated for question number 2.
Do you have any closing statements?
I do. This is actually tragic for a leader, for a jurist that has been trained. In my profession, if I don't know something, it is my responsibility to go find that information, whether I've forgotten it, just wasn't exposed to it, whatever that case may be. I cannot harm a patient and say, oh, I don't know. So to be trained, to be tested, to be experienced, and to be in a leader in a jurisdiction, this is tragic. And to have so many more complaints outside of this case to be processed, this is tragic.
Okay. Thank you. Yasmine, are you able to come on? I know she was doing some work. If not, I'll just take her initial affiant statement and use it. How much time we got left?
You have 11 minutes, or now 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Now my questions are going to be directed towards Ken Wei Shi. All right. In previous jurist conversations on these trial matters, you stated that Yasmine Shi Ali lied, and she said, or had told me, that after I directed her to reach out to you, that she had said to me or to somebody or anybody that she reached out to you. Can you provide us with any proof that she made that statement?
Repeat that. What to make the statement that
You said that she lied. You said that Yasmine Shi Ali lied, that I
Right.
told her to go reach out to you, and that she told somebody, me, you, or anybody, that yeah, I reached out to him. Can you provide us proof of that statement?
outside of the fact that she returned to you as if I hadn't done it, verbally saying it, no, I can't because this was a conversation you told me
Thank you.
when you were.
All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
the defendant is admitting on record that he made an assumption and he lied on the record on the plaintiff, and stating that she lied and said she had reached out to him, and there's no record of any statement at any time by anybody except in his own mind. All right. You also stated for the record that Love Shi, quote, she pled guilty on record. Can you give us the exact statement of her pleading guilty on record?
Yes, let me, give me 1 second. I can play that right now. Hold on 1 second. I'm accepting the responsibility. I did say that. I gave you the context for that. I'm learning, and I will accept whatever consequence that comes with that. Which was exactly what was stated.
So that's a guilty plea to you?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I disagree, but all right. We just showed an email where you stated directly to Karen in an email that you had an indigenous trademark method. You later stated today that you told her you were working with someone else. have you ever been trained in any indigenous trademark methods by Arna Aboriginal Law Firm, which is the lead law firm that trains jurists?
No, sir.
Never. Did you communicate to a client that you have an indigenous trademark method service?
No, sir.
You didn't?
No, I said we, being me and the jurist I was contracting with.
Okay.
So
So
because
you came to a client. So is the fact that you came to a client and said we, with an unidentified other person, saying that we have an indigenous trademark method?
Correct.
Okay. Who is the jurist that taught you an indigenous trademark method that you are using for clients?
Never stated that I was taught, saying that I was contracting with the jurist so that way he can perform that service on behalf of the client that was contracting with me, so that, so that's a partnership in tangent to joint law firms operating a partnership.
Did that jurist ever communicate? Did that jurist who you're communicating with ever tell you that he was trained in Arna by Arna Aboriginal Law Firm to do indigenous trademark methods?
He mentioned that he was given the information by you.
Okay. Can you provide any statements, text messages, emails? You don't have to do it now because we still have some time. Are you able to provide that particular information to verify that that person said they were trained by me?
All I had was verbal. I'm sure he wouldn't mind testifying, but that I don't have anything at the moment.
The point I'm making on this for the sake of the Juror Society is that Kenway Sheet, again, he never came to me directly at any time and said, hey, Chief, I'm about to do this indigenous trademark method for Sister Karen. And, me and brother so-and-so. He never revealed that at any moment, anytime, and he said anything at any time about that. That was something that he took it on his onus to do, and he didn't complete the service, and he received money for it, and he made that projection. So he lied in his what he stated in the email, which I showed. That email is shown, and so he didn't perform the service. My point is the charge stands. The charge stands in regards to Karen that he failed to provide debt services. Or can you also last question for you?
Before I just wanted to insert. The jurist he's referring to is me, okay, as far as like being able to do trademarks, because I've been doing that as far as trademarks and stuff like that. So
okay, is that an indigenous trademark method, or is that just regular trademarks for you register trademarks?
So it's trademarks that I've done, and then the common law, and then the at one point in time when the United States was under the WIPO, which they're not anymore.
Okay, all right, so that's good. We know who is being said or whatever, but irregardless, he failed to perform the service. It's not an Arna service at current. And even if he did communicate with you, it was never a formal class or anything. You're not on trial right now. He's on trial. So he's on trial for lying to a client and for not carrying out the service. That's my point. Last point is for question for the defendant. Can you prove that any one of the numbers that you showed, and I wrote all of them down and screenshotted them, the numbers that you prove are direct mailings for Karen Baber that were lost?
One more time.
Can you prove that any of the tracking numbers that you just showed directly relate to Karen Baber's mailing of debt services?
Yes.
You haven't done it so far, so we're waiting on you to do it.
Okay, so like I mentioned, the list of missed mail and exhibits that you have, which I have more that I can willing to provide the court, is evidence to show that operation slowed down and injured New Ways to a great degree, to a very hard degree.
That's not what I'm asking the question. So we're in cross-examination, so I'm gonna just be very specific. And I ask you a question and you're deviating away from the answer. This question is very specific, and something is wrong with your audio, so maybe you need to fix it because you're kind of echoing out. But the question is specific, and I'm gonna ask it one more time. For the record, in the face of the Juror Society, I asked this question in discovery. I got no defined answer. I asked this question several times. He showed 6 tracking numbers from that exhibit C. And in that exhibit, I'm asking if any one of those numbers, The proof would be you have a green certified mail receipt, one of which you showed, which you can't really see. You can zoom in, well, which will show, oh, mailing for to Navient, blah, 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 blah. And that number would be for Karen Baber. We need to see that. Do you have that? Specifically for Karen Baber, not talking about the crisis or what new age being injured.
Ken, your audio is still messed up, Ken.
Yeah, your audio's messed up. So what I'll do is I'll finish out my time, and then in his rebuttals he could possibly do that. But I'm gonna cut him off and finish my closing arguments. How much time I got?
We got 2 minutes and 50 seconds before the video.
All right, thank you. All right, so this is my these are my closing arguments. Jural Society, Ken Wei Shi is a threat now to the integrity of our juris system. So much so that over this whole trial, I took very meticulous notes so I can better even the processing for jurors overall. But we have enough that is already there on the record as far as protocol standards, etc., that he could have done Love She's ID on time, that he could have gotten the proper protocols on doing a tax exempt LLC, because obviously Love She has had that service done by other jurists. So there is confusion amongst the jurists, but it's not because of not having documentation. It's just because of the particular jurors. That has nothing to do with our process and procedure. It's there. He did violate Yasmine Shi Ali. He collected $510, which he would only keep 120 or 180 or $200 of. He waited from August to February. He lied on her on the record and provided no proof. And lastly, Karen Baber. He did not produce the debt service. He did not do the trademarks. And with all of those in mind, each one of these breaches and his response to the breaches, I am moving to have all of my remedy implemented that I requested in my last action towards him. And that remedy is, and let me read it for the record. It's already on the record, but let me read it. If I don't have it, maybe I don't have it. All right.
Before you go ahead and read it, does everyone have that link for the next one? Because it's about to close.
Okay, what's about to happen now? I don't know what's about to happen.
So you got 30 seconds to, okay, first of all, we just got to send a new link, and then you got 30 seconds on that new link to close it out. And then
okay. All right, so I'm gonna stop now and then just go to the new link, right?
Correct.
Can you guys hear me okay better now? I got a Bluetooth there.
Yeah, you better.
You're better.
Okay, excellent.
We can hear you.
Okay, thanks. All right.
So Shadi, did you send out the new link?
Yeah,
everybody?
I'm working on it.
Make sure everybody got it. Please hop on if you're not able to get it.
This is Love She. If you could send it to me again, please.
We'll send it to everybody.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd already sent it.
No, not yet.
All right, it's sent out.
Awesome.